Hello, this is Organization with Olu, and today we're going to talk about stocks and shares. Stick around. I think you're going to like what I've got for you. Right now, what I'm going to do is share my screen. Okay, guys, we're going to go straight into it. Before I start, I used to be a financial advisor. I was for 10 years. However, this is not financial advice. This is just financial education. Please do your own due diligence, okay? Before you make any decisions, do your own due diligence and do what's best for you, okay? So let's start. So first of all, we're talking about Beginner's Guide 1 to Stocks and Shares ISA, to a Stocks and Shares ISA, okay? Now, stocks are an investment into a company. As an investor, it means you own a share in that company that's issued the stock. Okay. So if Facebook issues a stock, you as an investor, you're going to own a share of Facebook. Okay. If you purchase a share from the company, you're going to own a part of Facebook. Okay. So that's clear. So just, Facebook issue stocks. If you want to have part of Facebook, then you buy a share and then you own a little part of Facebook. Okay, so let's carry on. So from 18 upwards, you can hold an ISA. Now I know there's a junior ISA. You can have a junior ISA 16, but I'm just talking about adult ISAs. Okay, from 18 upwards, you can hold an ISA that is invested in stocks and shares. This could be, for example, holding a general ISA or a LISA. If you don't know what a LISA is, please go back to my video I did a few days ago of my video on LISA. Yeah, go back to that and then you know what a LISA is. Okay, so let's carry on with this. Okay, you can mainly hold UK stocks and shares. UK stocks and shares, let's get rid of this. You can mainly hold UK stocks and US stocks in an ISA. Okay, there are very strict rules regarding ISAs, so you can't just hold every single stock in ISAs. Okay, examples of UK stocks is Lloyd's Bank. Okay, Lloyd's Bank, Barclays Bank, AXA. There's so many different types of UK stocks. Okay, that you can actually hold in your ISA. Example of US stocks, which you probably would have heard of: Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, Twitter, Snap. I can continue. There's so many stocks that you can hold from the US in an ISA. Okay. Because of the tax-free status, ISA follows strict rules. As a result, investments, for example, some Chinese stocks cannot be held in an ISA. For example, NIO, who is an electric Chinese car manufacturer, you can't hold that in an ISA. Okay. No need to worry. It will be you clearly show if it's allowed. Okay, you won't be able to invest in it if it can't. They will tell you straight away you can't use this as an ISA. Okay, so that wouldn't be a problem for you at all. But just want you to know there's certain stocks, mainly Chinese stocks and other stocks, and maybe you can't actually hold them in an ISA because of the tax-free status. Okay, how do you start? You've decided you want to invest, you want to start investing in stocks and shares. How do you start? $1 million question. Okay, first thing you need to do is you have to ask yourself some questions. The first question: why do you want to invest in stocks and shares? Why? Do you want to buy a lovely house? Why do you want to invest in stocks and shares? That's the first thing you need to be clear about. Okay, why do you actually want to invest in stocks and shares? Okay. Secondly, what are your time frames? Do you want to invest for 2 years? Do you want to invest for 3 years, 5 years? Is there any specific time frame you have? And as we go along in these videos, because I'm doing a number of videos, you realize that if, for example, you want the money in 6 months or 3 months, maybe stocks and shares may not be the right option for you. Okay, so what are your time frames? You need to be clear about that. How much can you comfortably invest? Comfortably. Emphasize the word comfortably. Okay, in stocks and shares, because of the time frame. You must be able to be comfortable investing in stocks and shares. Golden rules before you start investing in stocks and shares. Okay, there's loads of golden rules, but from investing in stocks and shares, these are the things that I felt I wish I had known before I invested in stocks and shares. Okay, so these are things that I've learned from experience, and I'm passing it on to you. Okay, you start in an ISA. Start in an ISA. It's completely tax free. There's no reason not to invest in an ISA unless you've already got an ISA. Other than that, you should be investing in an ISA. It's totally tax free. That includes your contributions, and your profits are tax free. Okay. Rule number two, set aside money for your regular outgoings, which includes things like rent. That has to be separate from your investing in an ISA or investing in stocks and shares. That has to be separate. You have to separate that. Okay, set aside an emergency fund. Again, not only do you need to set aside money that you need for regular outgoings, you also need to set aside an emergency fund. Okay, I hope it doesn't sound like it's too basic information, that this is things people should know. Yes, you should know, but sometimes when you get involved in stocks and shares, you get so excited and you start doing that. You have to set aside an emergency fund separately, and set aside your household expenditures and everything aside. Okay, the interest you earn in a bank is totally irrelevant. If for emergency fund, doesn't matter about the interest rate, just set the money aside in a bank account and have that money there. Okay, decide what you can live without. If you're going to invest in stocks and shares, decide what money you can take off the table and live without. Okay, it's very important. Determine what type of investor you are and what is your risk tolerance. What's your are you a cautious investor? Are you somebody who likes to take risks? What type of investor are you? If you're somebody who panics about things going up and down, maybe stocks and shares may not be what you want to do. Okay, so determine what type of investor you are. Okay, again, are you a long-term investor? For example, 5 years onwards. That's really important for you to determine, because you need to know why are you doing this? Is it for 5 years? If 5 years onwards, is it a long-term investment? Do you want the money in 10 years' time, 5 years' time? What's your reason for doing it? Are you a medium-term investor? Maybe 1 to 3 years. Are you a swing trader? In other words, you buy low and you wait for the share price to rise to a specific value and then you sell. You take your profits and maybe you reinvest your profits, or you just take your profits. Again, we're going to explore that. Okay, that's what a swing trader is. You need to determine what you're doing, why are you doing this in the first place, and it's really a good idea to actually think, why am I actually doing this? Okay, another great rule: do not buy stocks like you're buying sweets in a candy store. Trust me, I have done that. You get so excited and you start buying everything. Do not do that, okay? Okay, this can happen due to the ability to buy fractional shares. For example, one Amazon share would normally cost $3,404 as of today. However, plenty of online brokers allow you to buy any stock from the US as little as £2. So you can buy what you call fractional shares. So in other words, in Amazon, you can spend £2 and buy a little tiny part of Amazon. Okay. So don't be like that. Suddenly you see loads of stocks and shares, loads of shares, and you want to buy this, you want to buy that. Okay. So you help yourself to a Facebook share, an Amazon share, Microsoft share, Tesla share, Apple share, Mastercard share, because you could just buy all of that. But don't do that, guys. Don't do that. Okay, it's not a recommendation, but if I was you, based on my experience, the lessons I've learned, I would invest to start off with no more than two stocks. No more than two stocks. Okay, and start with what you can afford. In my next video, I will explain and go into a lot more detail. I will show you how you start investing in stocks, um, and what you need to be doing. Okay, so we'll move it on a lot further. And this is just a basic video, just to get you a little tiny idea into what it means to invest in stocks and shares. So hopefully, guys, you've enjoyed this. Please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bye bye.